Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Everybody loves a good ODST. Or well, most people love a good ODST. Some people hate ODSTs but make an hour-long stop-motion film about them. But that's beside the point. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at all, and I mean every single one, of the new Articulation blind bag ODSTs. It's going to take so long. Wait, where are my notes? There's only 3? Oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. We're going to be looking at all 3 of the blind bag ODSTs today, kind of giving them a comparison. It's been a long time since Mega gave us a blind bag ODST, so I thought, you know what, let's go and look at the old ones, and then, I don't know, maybe Mega will see that we still want one, and at some point in the future, drop a random ODST in a blind bag series for us. 2016 brought us the Challenger Series blind bags, and with it, one of the most notoriously rare Mega figures out there. This guy is up there with stuff like the Halo Heroes Honor Guard, the original one, and even like the Kestrel Strike War Master. It's just a very high demand figure, and there's just not much stock out there, so he ends up commanding a pretty high price on the aftermarket. And for a while I thought, oh, he's kind of overrated, but now that I see him, he's pretty good. This green is beautiful, just perfect. This is a perfect green for like military armor stuff. It's just great. I'd love to see more Spartans in this color, more ODSTs. It's yes. The gray undersuit is pretty different though. We don't often see this light color of an undersuit on an ODST. That's just not something that we get often, but I really like it. It really gives the impression of armor over top of a uniform. And then the black for the chest plate is just really sharp. The visor is really nice. And then he comes with one of those like comms backpacks. And interestingly enough, it's not the same green. It's like a different, more gray green. And then his weapon of choice, well, not really, I guess Mega chose his weapon for him, but the weapon he comes with is one of those normal ARs, just a gray one. So I can see why everybody loves this figure. It's just a really nice, clean figure, and it's one I'd love to get a squad of, but I'm not going to attempt to get a squad of because this, like I said, this guy's very expensive on the aftermarket because he's just in such high demand. And it's a pretty old figure at this point. Like 2016 doesn't feel that long ago, but yeah, it was a long time ago. 2017 brought us the Stormbound blind bags, and with it, this ODST right here. Now this guy is not nearly as notorious and expensive as the Challenger Series one. However, he still commands a pretty high price on the aftermarket, and he's just pretty unique. Like, it's pretty easy to tell, even in like a big lot, oh hey, that's the Stormbound ODST. He's got this like gray, but the gray has hints of like metallic-y blue in it, which is pretty cool. Now the head is kind of a different color, just because of the way the softer plastics work. The head doesn't quite look the same as the rest of the armor. However, the rest of the figure looks good enough that I'm willing to overlook that. The visor is printed pretty well. The chest plate is a bright silver. I don't think it's nearly as clean as the black we just saw, but it's pretty good still. It's pretty good. And then black undersuit, which is much more normal for an ODST. And then he came armed with a silenced SMG. This is one of the old styles before they started making the silencers removable and, you know, the add-on scopes and whatnot. It's still a pretty good mold to this day, in my opinion. I don't think it looks too outdated. Yeah, it's less detail, but it still works just as good. So yeah, again, this guy is still pretty high price. Usually I see him going for about 20 bucks on the aftermarket, sometimes higher, rarely lower, but yeah, 20 seems to be the average, at least as of the time of the recording of this video. 2018 was the last time we would see an ODST in a blind bag series, and they ended off with the Maverick Series ODST. This guy is cast in the bright silver that Mega does, and I love this color. It's so good because it's so shiny without having any paint on it. That's just the way the plastic is. It's the same plastic that they use for the Faithful Spartans, the secondary color for the Faithful Spartans, and the Faithful versus Fallen pack, which again, it's a perfect color. The blue was the Maverick thing, this like brighter blue. The chest plate, you can definitely see some fuzziness around the edges. The visor is great though, and I feel like the head silver matches the rest of the silver on the whole figure a lot better than what we saw on the Stormbound ODST. He comes armed with the same old style SMG. SMGs just seem to be the ODST thing, probably thanks to Rookie. But yeah, this is a really nice figure. This one is probably the least expensive. When I say the least expensive, that means he's still probably going to be around at least $15, if not more. But he just doesn't often seem to be the one that's the most sought after. And I guess maybe there's a few more of them out there since he was released a little more recently. I mean, 2018 was still quite a bit ago. But yeah, he's just not quite as highly valued as something like Challenger. And there they all are, side by side. That is according to the progression of their release: Challenger, Stormbound, Maverick. And I have to say, I'm a little disappointed that Mega used a backpack on the first one and then never again. I almost want to say that their first one was the best. I think so, just in terms of like ODST feel. That's not to say these two are bad. It's just they did it so well their first try. And I'm also sad that like Warrior Series didn't have an ODST because we didn't get any red ODSTs. There's just a lot of potential still for them to do ODSTs, but seeing these guys side by side, it is very nice. I would say between these two, the head for this guy is a bit better, at least in terms of the matching the armor, but that's a very unique color scheme. These guys almost feel like an inverse of each other. Yes, the blue is different, but it's very similar. Very cool, and it's very expensive to get all three of them. I've been planning this video for quite a while, and it was just very hard to get them all. So you can see them around the back real quick. Let me pop the backpack off so you can just see what it looks like that. It's pretty nice, not bad. Now there are plenty of old Articulation ODSTs in blind bags, but I haven't quite fully dove into the old Articulation side of things because, well, there's not a lot of information, not a lot of consistent information, I should say, out there for me to properly track down everything, so we'll get there eventually. Well, there you have it. That is all three blind bag ODSTs in new Articulation form. Which one of these do you have? Which one of these is your favorite? Do you have any of them? Let me know down in the comments, and also let me know if Mega were to do another blind bag series and include ODST, what color scheme would you want to see? I'm curious. I would love to see a red one because we just don't get very many red ODSTs. I don't know that we've gotten a like cast fully in red ODST ever, so like a nice dark red, that's what I would want. But what would you want to see? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.